Now, a partnership is an association of 2 to 20 persons operating a business with the common goal of making a profit. Now, a partnership has to have more than one person, but not more than 20 persons. So it's between 2 to 20. It's very important for us to keep that in mind. And as I previously said, it has to be persons who share the similar vision with you. So persons who want to make a profit and are willing to put in the necessary time, the necessary effort needed to make that profit. Now, there are two types of partnerships. For example, you would have an ordinary partnership and a limited partnership. And different characteristics, of course. The first one, which is in the definition, 2 to 20 members. And then the second one would be that the capital is provided by owners. Now, where in the sole tradership, we saw that the sole trader had to provide all the capital on his or her own, possibly go to banks, receive loans, and go through the difficult process of providing collateral and actually setting up the business because of lack of sufficient capital. In a partnership, there are different members. And let's say this partnership that we're talking about in our example has the maximum 20 persons. So all 20 partners would have to agree on a set amount that each one has to provide towards the business or has to invest towards the business, right? And when this happens, the capital, it's not burdensome, the investment, it's not large, and it's not too great because all persons have a vested interest in the business. The third one would be that a limited partner cannot take place in the management of the partnership. Now, when we talked about the limited partnership, this is where the limited partner stands only to lose up to the amount which was invested. So limited partners do not invest what everybody else invests. It's usually a smaller amount, and they don't have shares in the entire business itself, seeing that they're not putting up what all ordinary partners are investing. Now, another characteristic would be that profits are shared equally, barring any type of agreement. So if there's a document that states that because I invested more money than you, I receive 20% of profits while you receive 15%, unless a document or an agreement like that actually exists, the profits are shared equally, right? And actually in Jamaica and in most countries within the Western Hemisphere, there is such a thing known as the Partnership Act. Now, this is a certain legislation that is passed in order to ensure that the partners within any and all partnerships are protected by the law. Now, different advantages include that it's easy to set up, there's more capital than found in the sole trader, the workload is shared so it's not burdensome, and they also pay lower personal tax but a higher company tax. So whereas a sole trader would have to incur all the debts, all the necessary costs, and invest even personal savings, then in the partnerships, there would be a higher company tax, seeing that there's more persons in the business and seeing that the business would have been of a greater size. Now, where personal tax is concerned, because different partners are investing different amounts of cash or all of them are agreeing on the same amount of investment cost, then the personal tax would of course be low. Now, different disadvantages include unlimited liability. Now, this is a similarity with the sole trader. Unlimited liability speaks to the fact that if it is that the business is in trouble, it is incurring a great or an enormous amount of debt, then all partners would be held liable, right? And this would be because they're all investing their personal money within the business. Also with the sole trader, this person or this individual invests all he or she really has into the business. So if it fails or if there's a problem, then he or she would have to assume full responsibility. Another disadvantage would be difficulties in decision making. Now, why would this be difficult? Think about it. An association with 20 persons running one business, 20 persons who are not the same, 20 persons who are not perfect, 20 persons with different personalities. So 20 persons, 20 different personalities. So 20 different opinions on one matter, which can make the decision-making process quite long. It can make it very burdensome, and it can make it very frustrating as well. So the next disadvantage is that there is difficulty in obtaining capital. Now, for some partners within a partnership, there might be an established amount of money agreed on, but at the same time, they don't want to go beyond that. And they wouldn't want to invest in a risky way. So the problem would always be in obtaining capital necessary for funding and constantly upkeeping the business, keeping it alive. Right? Now, a partnership deed is usually written up for the partnership to exist. The agreement usually indicates the number of partners, number of capital that should be invested by each partner, how the profits are to be divided, the name of the partnership, the salary to be paid, if one should be given, and how the partnership is to be dissolved. For example, if a partner should die, or the role of each partner, what are they expected to do? And the management of the partnership is carried out by the ordinary partners. The ordinary partners now are the partners within the partnership who are investing the set amount that is expected and beyond. They are investing the most capital, and so the person with the most money has the most say.